Welcome back to Fourier Transformation Part 3. Today we will see some important problems based on the theory we have studied in Part 1 and Part 2. The problems today we will discuss are very useful in 10 marks question asked from AKTU exams. So let's start. Firstly, I am going to see the some important formula we have studied already in lecture 1 and lecture 2. I told you the Fourier transformation of any function ft or fx, it depends whichever variable you are following. It is minus infinity to infinity e to the power minus I omega t ft dt. Some books also use fx notation and use s parameter in place of omega. So they write omega x fx dx, or some people write minus infinity to infinity e to the power minus I sx fx dx. If you are using omega notation, then I use f omega. If you are using fs notation, then I am using fs here. Some people also represent this transformation of fx as minus infinity to infinity e to the power plus I sx fx dx. Then use my inverse definition. Inverse of fx, if you use, we have studied in lecture 2, fs, that is 1 over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity e to the power I sx fs ds. But they use this definition for inverse function, 1 over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity e to the power minus I sx fs ds. So don't be confused. This is also correct. This is also correct. So I will use this definition in my further problems. I discussed this definition earlier in part 1 and part 2, but today I will change the notation t by x and omega by s. As this is very familiar from AKTU, so I will use the notation which is asked in AKTU examination, because ultimately you have to solve the problem. So don't be confused with the variables. Okay. What are the cosine and sine transformation? I told you cosine transformation of any function fx is 0 to infinity fx cos sx dx. I told you omega and I used x in place of x. So you can use also notation, that notation also. And sine transformation of fx is 0 to infinity fx sine sx dx. So these are some important formula. Okay, what about inverse? If you use the inverse Fourier cosine transformation, this is equal to cosine transformation of cosine transformation fs fcs, and this is I am using fss sine transformation. So if you use the cosine inverse, then it is equal to fx is equal to 2 over pi 0 to infinity f cs cos sx ds. Similarly, you can find sine inverse sine Fourier transformation, that is equal to fx is equal to 2 over pi 0 to infinity fs sine sx dx. You can follow my lecture 2. I have discussed this formula earlier. So today I will use this formula and will solve some important problems. First problem I am going to solve. Find the Fourier cosine transform of e to the power minus x square. If you remember my lecture 1, we already discussed the Fourier transform of this function. Today I am going to discuss the Fourier cosine transform of this function. So let's see the solution. I told you the Fourier cosine transformation of any function is 0 to infinity fx cos sx dx here. So Fourier cosine transformation of e to the power minus x square is equal to, let's see, this is equal to integration 0 to infinity e to the power minus x square cos sx dx. Now this integration is very difficult because if you assume x square equal to t, then its derivative must be present here. But its derivative is not present here. So because the derivative of x square is 2x, so I need 2x multiple here. So I am going to use Leibniz rule, differentiation over integration. So I will differentiate with respect to s, both sides. So upper limit and lower limit are constant values, so these term will be 0. Only you will get one term, Leibniz rule I have discussed already in integration lectures. It will be e to the power minus x square partial derivative with respect to s of cos sx dx. Rest term will be 0. What is the formula? If you want to remember, I am going to write. If you have limit as phi x to psi x, ftx dx, and if you want to differentiate with respect to x, the formula is very easy. You put upper limit in the place of t. Here you have dt. Okay. Then d by dx of phi x minus lower limit in place of t, d by dx of lower limit, plus phi x to psi x partial derivative with respect to x of ftx dt. So these two terms will be 0 here because they both limit are constant. Only you will get this term here and change according to your variables. So I am going to differentiate with respect to s. We cannot differentiate with respect to x because we are already integrating with respect to x here. It will give you 0 to infinity e to the power minus x square. If you differentiate with respect to s, it will give you minus x sine sx dx. Now you have derivative of minus x square, that is minus x. That is minus x in minus 2x must be there. So I'm going to multiply by 2 and divide by 2. So now you can write like this. This is your sine sx into minus 2x e to the power minus x square dx. Why I am writing like this? If you integrate minus 2x e to the power minus x square dx and assume e to the minus x square equal to t, then minus 2x dx is going to be dt. So this term is going to be dt. So it will become e to the power t dt. This will be e to the power t or e to the power minus x square. The integration of minus 2x e to the power minus x square is ultimately e to the power minus x square. So it will give you di by ds. If you integration by part, if you use here, you will get 1 by 2 is outside. First is outside sine fx. I am taking first function. I am taking, this is your first function, this is your second function. Integration of second function, that will be e to the power minus x square 0 to infinity minus 0 to infinity. Derivative of first function sine sx, derivative with respect to x, it will give you s cos sx. Integration of second function e to the power minus x square dx. It will be 1 by 2. If you apply infinity, e to the power minus infinity is 0. If you apply 0, sine 0 is 0. So you will get 0 this term, 0 minus s you can take outside, 0 to infinity e to the power minus x square into cos sx dx. So ultimately this is minus s by 2, 0 to infinity e to the power minus x square cos sx dx. If you see carefully, this is again the integration I. This is again integration I, which I have assumed earlier. So this is equal to di by ds is equal to minus s by 2 into iota. I integration. Now solve this differential equation. So di by I is equal to minus s by 2 ds. Now if you integrate both the sides, it will give you log I is equal to minus s square by 4 plus a constant c. So I will be e to the power minus s square by 4 plus c. That can be written as e to the power c into e to the power minus s square by 4. So integration is e to the power c is again a constant, call it as c dash e to the power minus s square by 4. Now our aim is to find the value c dash. For finding the value of c dash, we have to go with I again. What is I? I was 0 to infinity e to the power minus x square cos sx dx. You can see that I is the function of s. If you integrate with respect to x, you will get the function of s. So put s equal to 0 in both the sides, then I 0 will be 0 to infinity e to the power minus x square dx, because cos 0 is 1. And if you use my gamma lecture, 0 to infinity e to the power minus x square dx is nothing else root pi by 2 beta gamma function. You can see my lecture beta gamma function. So if you put s equal to 0 here also, you will get I0 equal to c dash e to the power 0 is 1. So I0 is nothing else root pi by 2. So c dash equal to root pi by 2. Put the value of c dash. So the integration or the Fourier cosine transformation of the given function is root pi by 2 e to the power minus s square by 4. So this is your required answer for this problem. I assumed integration I as Fourier cosine transformation of e to the power minus x square, and it is understood that it is a function of x because you are differentiating with respect to integrating with respect to x. So this is the Fourier cosine transform. So very interesting problem, very important problem. Let's see one more example. Find Fourier sine transform of e to the power minus mod x. I have already discussed the Fourier transform of this function. Now I am going to discuss the Fourier sine transformation. What is the Fourier sine transformation of any function? It is equal to 0 to infinity fx sine sx dx. Now the Fourier sine transformation of e to the power minus mod x, let us assume integration is equal to 0 to infinity e to the power minus mod x sine sx dx. See carefully, here x is belonging in 0 to infinity, then mod x equal to x, because x is greater than 0 here. So e to the power minus mod x is nothing else e to the power minus x, as x belongs to 0 to infinity. Because x is greater than 0, then mod x is meaningless here because it will be equal to x only. It means integration will be equal to 0 to infinity e to the power minus x sine sx dx. Now I am going to revise, see my integration lecture. I told you two important result: e to the power ax cos bx dx equal to e to the power ax over a square plus b square, a cos bx plus b sin bx. And if you have e to the power ax sin bx dx, it is equal to e to the power ax over a square plus b square, a sin bx minus b cos bx, a sin bx minus b cos bx. If you compare this formula, you have 1 minus 1 in place of a and s in place of b. So it will be e to the power minus x, a square plus b square means 1 plus s square, 1 square plus s square, minus 1 square, that will become 1 only. A means minus 1 sin sx minus b means s cos sx, and limit is from 0 to infinity. I have used this important result here. So if you can see that you are applying the limit, you are applying the limit only in the term of x only. X upper limit is infinity, lower limit is 0. So 1 over 1 plus s square can be taken as outside. E to the power minus infinity will go to 0, and if you go as extending to 0, this term is 0, sin 0 is 0, cos 0 is 1. So minus minus will become plus 1 because upper limit minus lower limit. So minus minus plus. So it will give you s here. So this will be the Fourier sine transformation of the given problem. Fourier sine transformation of the given problem. But this question can be asked one more step. Hence, so that I'm extending this problem, 0 to infinity x sine mx over 1 plus x square dx equal to pi by 2 into e to the power minus m. This is also a very famous problem. So let's proceed further. Let's proceed further. We have, this is Fourier sine transformation of the given function. So use the inverse Fourier transformation. Use inverse Fourier sine transformation. I told you what is the formula then. Then inverse Fourier transformation of FSS, that is equal to fx only 2 over pi 0 to infinity Fourier sine transform into sine sx dx, sine sx dx. So it will be equal to fx is equal to 2 over pi 0 to infinity. FSS you got s over 1 plus s square sine sx dx. So what is your fx? Fx is your e to the power minus x. Not I am using mod x because x is greater than 0. So e to the power minus mod x will become e to the power minus x only. You want integration in the term of m here. If you see m is greater than 0 here. So I am replacing x by m. Replace x by m. So you will get e to the power minus m equal to 2 to pi 0 to infinity s over 1 plus s square sine sm ds, or 0 to infinity s sine sm over 1 plus s square ds equal to pi by 2 e to the power minus m. Now we know the property. What is the property? A to b fs ds is equal to a to b fx dx. So use this property. 0 to infinity x sine xm or mx over 1 plus x square dx is equal to pi by 2 e to the power minus m. We can change the dummy variable without changing the limit. This is the first property of definite integration I have discussed. So this is the second result asked in the problem. Let's see another problem. I am giving you this problem as a homework. Find Fourier cosine transform of fx equal to x when x is between 0 to 1, 2 minus x when x is between 1 to 2, and 0 when x is greater than 2. I am giving you a little bit hint here. Fourier cosine transformation of fx is 0 to infinity fx cos sx dx here. But you see the function is breaking as 1 and 2. So let's from 0 to 1. 0 to 1 the function is x only. So x cos sx dx plus 1 to 2. 1 to 2 the value is 2 minus x cos sx dx. And 2 to infinity, if you break the value, will be 0 into cos sx dx. So only you have to solve these two terms. First term is already 0. Next example, that is a most important problem. Most important. Find the Fourier sine transform of e to the power minus ax over x. A is greater than 0. So what is the Fourier sine transform of any function? Of any function is equal to 0 to infinity fx sine sx dx. Now call it as integration. This is equal to 0 to infinity fx is e to the power minus ax over x sine sx dx. We can integrate this function using the result I discussed earlier, but due to denominator x, in the denominator x, we cannot use this property. This property I have discussed here, e to the power ax sine dx. We cannot use this property here due to x in the denominator. We have to eliminate this x. How we can eliminate? If we differentiate this function with respect to s, then we get ax in the coefficient that we cancelled out. So differentiate with respect to s both the side using Leibniz rule. So e to the power minus ax over x del by del s partial derivative sine sx dx. Rest two term are 0 here, 0 to infinity e to the power minus ax over x. It will give you x cos sx dx. X is cancelled out. You have di by ds equal to 0 to infinity e to the power minus ax cos sx dx. Now you can use the first property I discussed here, e to the power ax cos dx. A is minus a in your case and s is x in your problem. S is x I discussed here. So if you use that result, it will give you e to the power minus ax over a square plus s square minus a cos sx plus b sin sx. You can see this 0 to infinity. If you apply the upper limit, e to the power a square plus s square we can take outside because you are putting the limit in the place of x only. Upper limit will go to 0, lower limit x equal to 0, this is 1, this is 1, but with minus sign, so it will give you plus a, and this will be again 0. So it will be a over a square plus s square. It means di by ds is a over a square plus s square. So if we solve this differential equation, a over a square plus s square dx, now if you integrate both the sides, so integration is equal to a into 1 over a tan inverse s over a plus a constant c. A is cancelled out, so the integration is tan inverse s over a plus c. Now our aim is only to find this constant c. How can find this? We can see this integration. This integration, if you see, this is a function of s only. So we have integration s is nothing else 0 to infinity e to the power minus ax over x sin sx dx. I have assumed this. Put x equal to 0. So s equal to 0. Sorry. Put s equal to 0. So I0 will become 0 because sin 0 is 0. I0 is 0. You put here because this is also function of s only. Put s equal to 0 in this question. So I0 equal to 0. Tan inverse 0 is 0 plus c. So you will get c equal to 0. Now if you put c equal to 0, your integration is tan inverse s over a. This is nothing else Fourier sine transform of e to the power minus ax over x. So this is a very, very famous problem. Now let's see one most important problem. Most important problem. Find the Fourier cosine transform of 1 over 1 plus x square. Hence, derive Fourier sine transform of x over 1 plus x square. Let's see the solution. Fourier cosine transform of any function fx is equal to 0 to infinity fx cos sx dx. Now the Fourier cosine transformation of 1 over 1 plus x square, I am calling as integration I 0 to infinity 1 over 1 plus x square cos sx dx. And this integration is very difficult to integrate. So what will we do now? This is called as equation number 1. We will differentiate with respect to I and we will see what can we get. 0 to infinity 1 over 1 plus x square. If you differentiate with respect to s, you will get minus x sine sx dx, because the derivative of cos of x with s will be minus x sine sx. Now I am writing this minus x, take minus sign outside, then minus x square. I am dividing and multiplying with x in the numerator denominator both. 1 plus x square sine sx dx. This is a trick to solve this integration. Without practice, you cannot solve this problem. This is a special type of problem. Minus. Now I am going to add 1 and subtract 1 because we want to cancel the factor 1 plus x square. Sine sx dx. Now separate these integrations. So di over ds is equal to minus 0 to infinity. If you take the first term, x square plus 1 is cancelled. Sine sx over x dx plus 0 to infinity. This is minus actually, but minus minus will become plus if you take bracket here. Sine sx over x1 plus x square dx. This is your minus. I told you in the Laplace transformation, this is equal to pi by 2. 0 to infinity sine sx over s, when s is greater than 0, as s is greater than 0, this value is pi by 2. Minus sign is again given in the coming in the calculation, so it will be minus pi by 2 plus 0 to infinity sine sx over x 1 plus x square dx. This is your di by ds. Call it as equation number 2. Call it as equation number 2. Equation number 1 is simple cosine transformation of 1 over 1 plus x square. For this, you can see my Laplace transformation lecture, third or fourth part, you can see. Now, if you differentiate with respect to s again, because you are not getting anything here, this is 0 plus 0 to infinity 1 over x 1 plus x square. Derivative of cos sine sx with respect to s will be x into cos sx dx. X is cancelled out. So look at a very beautiful differential equation you are getting. This is again 0 to infinity 1 over 1 plus x square cos sx dx. This is nothing else from equation 1. You can see this is equal to I only. So you have a second order differential equation d2I over ds2 equal to I. You want to can write d square minus 1 I equal to 0. Here I is the function of s, remember. Now for auxiliary equation, you can see that this is m square minus 1 equal to 0. So m equal to plus minus 1. So the complementary function cf will be equal to c1, c2. You will get 2 because the second order, e to the power 1s because you are differentiating with respect to s only, e to the power minus 1s. This is your is. But is is involving two constants here. So you have to get the values of c1 and c2. For the second equation, if you differentiate it, di by ds, it will be c1 e to the power s minus c2 e to the power minus s. Now we have to solve for c1 and c2. See carefully here. If we put I 0, s equal to 0 here, you will get 0 to infinity 1 over 1 plus x square dx, because cos 0 is 1. And this is nothing else tan inverse x 0 to infinity, and it will give you pi by 2 because tan inverse infinity is pi by 2. So I at 0 equal to pi by 2. Very good. Now see from the second equation, if I see from the second equation. Now I'm going to rub this and we will solve here. So see, from you have I0 equal to pi. From equation 2, if you see, at s equal to 0, di by ds at s equal to 0 is equal to, if you see s equal to 0, sine 0 will become 0 here. So it is nothing else minus pi by 2, minus pi by 2. Now we have I is equal to c1 e to the power s plus c2 to the power minus s, and di by ds at c1 e to the power s minus c2 e to the power minus s. So at s equal to 0, if you put s equal to 0, I0 is equal to pi by 2, it is c1 plus c2. At I equal to 0, di by ds is minus pi by 2 is equal to c1 minus c2. If you add it, you will get c1 equal to 0 and c2 equal to pi by 2. C2 equal to pi by 2. So what will be the I, or I will be the pi by 2 e to the power minus s. And this is the Fourier cosine transformation of 1 plus x square. Very good. What will be the di by ds here? It will be minus pi by 2 e to the power minus s. Minus pi by 2 e to the power minus s. But if you see carefully, what is your di by ds actually? I told you, I'm going to rub here. If you see carefully, I told you this I is your 0 to infinity 1 over 1 plus x square cos fx dx. Now if you differentiate with respect to x, with respect to s, you got it 0 to infinity minus x sin sx dx. Or you can write minus 0 to infinity x over 1 plus x square sin sx dx. Can you tell me what is this statement? This is nothing else Fourier sine transformation of x over 1 plus x square. That is equal to di by ds. That is equal to di by ds. So, and I told you this value is minus pi by 2 e to the power minus s. You can see that this value is minus pi by 2 e to the power minus s is equal to minus Fourier sine transformation of x over 1 plus x square. Minus is cancelled out. So Fourier sine transformation of x over 1 plus x square is again pi by 2 to the power minus s, which is equal to Fourier cosine transformation of 1 over 1 plus x square. This is a very, very interesting and important result. Now I'm going to solve one more problem related to Fourier transform. Find the Fourier transform, not sine or cosine, only Fourier transform of fx equal to 1 when mod x less than 1, 0 when mod x greater than 1, greater than 1. Hence evaluate 0 to infinity sine x over x dx. That I told you in the previous example, it is equal to pi by 2. So we have to prove this. Let's see the solution. Fourier transform of any function is equal to minus infinity to infinity fx into e to the power minus I sx dx. Or if you are using for ft, then ft e to the power minus I omega t. I replace omega by s and t by x. Some people write plus isx, so don't be confused. So Fourier transformation of the given function is equal to, this function is between minus 1 to 1. This is minus 1 to 1 is 1 only. And the rest where it is 0. So I'm not writing that term. So Fourier transform of the given function is integration e to the power minus isx is e to the power minus isx over minus is minus 1 to 1. So 1 over minus is I am taking outside, e to the power minus is minus minus e to the power plus is. Take the minus sign inside, e to the power is minus e to the power minus is over I into 1 over s. I am going to multiply and divide by 2. This is the formula of e to the power I theta minus e to the power minus I theta over 2i is sine theta. So it is nothing else sine s. So it is 2 over s sine s. So you have Fourier transformation of the given function is equal to 2 over s sine s. This is equal to fs only. Take the inverse Fourier transformation. Take inverse Fourier transformation. So inverse Fourier transformation of fs is equal to fx is equal to 1 over 2 pi. Remember, minus infinity to infinity e to the power isx fs ds. Here we have to differentiate with respect to ds only, and fx is equal to 1 over 2 pi. We don't know the value of fx because it is given in the interval minus infinity to infinity. Fs is your 2 over s sin s and s e to the power isx ds. Sorry. At x equal to 0, you will get f0. So at x equal to 0, you can see that 0 will belong to this interval. 0 will belong to this interval minus 1 to 1. So f0 will be 1. So f0 will be 1. 1 is equal to 1 over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity 2 over s sin s e to the power 0 is 1 ds. So it will equal to 2 is cancelled out. Pi is equal to minus infinity to infinity sine s over s ds. This function is an even function. If you take fs equal to sine s by s, then f of minus s will be fs only. So you can write it is 2 times 0 to infinity sine s by s ds. This is an even function. You can check that. So 0 to infinity sine s by s ds equal to pi by 2, or change of integration property, change of variable property, sine x by x dx is equal to pi by 2. We can change the variable without changing the limit. So this is the problem. We have one more example. Find the Fourier transformation. Find the Fourier transformation of fx is equal to 1 minus x square when x is between minus 1 to plus 1 and 0 when mod x is greater than 1. It means it is minus 1 to plus 1. Hence evaluate 0 to infinity x cos x minus sin x over x cube into cos x by 2 dx. So let's see the solution. Fourier of any fx is equal to minus infinity to infinity e to the power minus isx fx dx. But between minus 1 to 1 we have value of fx as 1 minus x square dx and rest where I have 0. So if you integrate it, you will get this is equal to minus 4 by s cube s cos s minus sin s, and I'm calling it as capital Fs. Call it as capital Fs. Then take inverse Fourier transform. So it will be fx will be equal to 1 over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity fs e to the power isx ds. So it is 1 over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity minus 4 over s cube s cos s minus sin x e to the power isx ds. Now you want by 2. If you see cos x by 2, so we will put x equal to 1 by 2 both sides. Then we will change s in x parameter. Firstly, we have to solve this integration in x only, both sides. So it will be f of 1 by 2 is equal to, what will be the f of 1 by 2 if you put here, because 1 by 2 belonging to minus 1 to 1, I am going to solve for x firstly. So it will give you 1 minus 1 by 2 square. It means it will give you 3 by 4. 1 minus 1 by 4, so it will be 3 by 4 is equal to 1 over 2 pi minus infinity to infinity minus 4 over s2 s cos s minus sine s e to the power I s by 2 ds. Now you use real and imaginary part, and later you replace s by x. We will get it is equal to 0 to infinity. Use odd and even property function also. X cos x, I'm not going to solve completely, sin x by x cube cos x by 2. Use a cos s by 2 plus I sin s by 2 this result, and later you replace s by s. Dx equal to minus 3 pi by 16, minus 3 pi by 16. So this is the ending of this third part. In the fourth part, we will discuss Fourier integral. So these examples are very useful, whichever I had discussed in lecture 1 and 2. These problems are based on that formulas only. Okay, thank you.